Well, get ready for several big changes to our weather pattern through this weekend and next week. Hey everyone, Darrell here from the Central Oregon Daily Weather Center with a deep dive into your most reliable forecast. Yeah, we're going to look at all the changes we've already seen in the last 24 hours, why we've been seeing these changes, what happens next, and when we finally get our next warming trend, it's going to put us through the 70s and into the 80s. All of those changes are happening through the next 7 days, even a low chance for a little bit of snow in the Cascades. So let's get right into it. We're starting off just looking at the bigger picture. There is a cold front that's just offshore, but notice we can see where that cold front is, but the cloud cover around it is already pretty sparse. So this is a weak system, and as it makes landfall, then interacts with the Cascades, it's just going to be ripping itself apart. So a lot of rain is expected, or some rain is expected on the other side of the Cascades, but here in Central Oregon, we're not looking too much. By Monday and Tuesday, a lot of rain is back in the planner, and that's because of a stronger system that's going to be impacting us then. So we are in an unsettled weather pattern, but by Sunday we get a break between systems, and then by next week it's just going to be breezy. We get those showers, and we are expecting a lot more precipitation, and that's also going to trigger our next dip in temperature. So a quick look outside, and we do have a lot of sunshine, a little bit of cloud cover, and this cloud cover is part of the system that's starting to roll into the Pacific Northwest. However, when we look across Central Oregon, when it comes to those traffic cameras, all of our roads are dry. We can even see some of those shadows on the ground, and that's just going right along with that in and out cloud cover we've seen all day. Now, the winds have been a little on the breezy side, but for the most part, it's dry, it's staying dry, and through tonight, at best a few sprinkles, and that goes really through the next 24 hours, maybe a few sprinkles. Now, when just focusing on satellite and radar, we do have some clouds over Central Oregon, but notice it is pretty dry. And looking a little bit more at the bigger picture, there are some showers over Vancouver Island, the Olympic Peninsula, really Washington going up to the west slopes of the Cascades of Washington, and a little bit around Astoria, and coming down almost to Tillamook, but not quite, really almost to Newport. There are a few sprinkles, just not quite down that far yet. And for the most part, the showers that we're expecting from this system in the next 24 hours, mostly the Cascades absorb that moisture. So in Central Oregon, we're just not looking at the big potential for any precipitation, but we do get the big drop in temperatures and maybe a few sprinkles through the next 24 hours. So Saturday, it's going to be cooler. We're looking at highs in the 50s and 60s. By Sunday, temperatures rebound a little bit, still below average, near and below average for this time of the year. We're looking at highs in the 60s and 70s. So it will be cooler, it will be breezy, and that weak cold front impacts us through the next 24 hours, and Sunday is that break between systems. This is a similar satellite imagery that we were looking at before, and not much at all in the way of precipitation, but you can really see that low that's just off the coastline of the Pacific Northwest, and that low, the entire low pressure system is what's digging into the region, and that's why we're going to get that bigger drop in temperatures here through the day tomorrow. And that cool down has already started. We're already running between 2 and 10 degrees cooler than 24 hours ago. We just don't have any precipitation at all anywhere near us, and it pretty much stays that way through Saturday. By Saturday during the midday and afternoon hours, maybe a few sprinkles. Now, some showers are expected through the Cascades, but if you're planning on doing anything with any of the events that are happening, number one, I do believe it's National Trails Weekend across the high desert. We are looking at some of those showers in the highest elevations, but also if you're going to be in Bend and you're going to go to the Pride Festival of Central Oregon, it is going to be cooler. Keep that in mind. It is going to be breezy and maybe a few sprinkles. We're not looking at a washout like a couple years ago. However, there is going to be that shift in our weather pattern. Now, it all improves on Sunday under tons of sunshine. Temperatures warm back into the 60s and 70s. By the afternoon, we start to get more cloud cover, but that next system really doesn't start impacting us until we get to Sunday night. Going into Monday, we'll be focusing on that when we look at the other forecast models. But when it comes to relative humidity, it's dry, not super dry, not critical dry or anything like that, but the relative humidity percentages are ranging from 19% in Sun River to 47% in Sisters, and that additional moisture with this next system is already starting to pump into the Pacific Northwest. Now, in the last 24 hours, highs have been in the 70s with a few 60s and 80s out there. Some of those were holdovers from 24 hours ago, and as of right now, we're mostly sitting in the 60s. We do have 71 in Warm Springs and 72 degrees in Paulina. Look at Sisters, though, already at 58 degrees. That represents a 3 to 11 degree drop in temperatures in just the last 24 hours. So already feeling cooler tonight. It is going to be chilly, and temperatures fall back into the 30s with some 40s out there. But look at tomorrow. We do not go very far at all. We go from the 30s with some 40s into the 50s and 60s for highs. And remember, wind speeds crank up, but also that additional cloud cover is going to knock down our UV intensity forecast. With this weak cold front and more clouds, there is a chance of showers. Now, the dip in temperatures really doesn't impact the UV too much at all. It's the extra cloud cover, and it rebounds on Sunday, but by Monday and Tuesday, it's going to be very low again. And that's because of this bigger system that rolls in with the beginning of next week. So through the next 24 hours, maybe some sprinkles. And this forecast model that I'm showing you right now, this really focuses on surface temperature. And it shows that cooler air mass that's rolling in with this system that's pushing through tonight and still impacting us through Saturday. So highs in the 60s and some 50s. By Sunday, 70s and some 60s. And under tons of sunshine, we are looking at a slight bump in temperature. So slightly warmer conditions. And then by Monday, we get wetter, we get cooler, we get gusty. We're looking at highs in the 50s and 60s. So between now and the end of Monday, we got a lot more rain on the way, and that's because of Monday's system. Between now and before that system starts to roll in, it's not going to be much at all. So some sprinkles possible tonight and tomorrow. We warm up on Sunday. It's going to be cooler and wetter Monday and Tuesday. And Tuesday, we're actually looking at some periods of clearing. So that's the backside of the system. In fact, let's look at the forecast model that I typically show every night on air on Central Oregon Daily News. It shows that cold front about to make landfall, and that's the one that fizzles out over the Pacific Northwest tonight. And with that, pockets of clearing are going to be possible also during the next 24 hours. But it's not until tomorrow during the afternoon that we see that low chance of a few sprinkles, but it's going to be very hit and miss. I wouldn't be surprised if the entire high desert doesn't get any sprinkles or any showers at all, and the Cascades just absorb all that moisture. Then by Sunday, under high pressure, we get the rebound in temperatures, but then that next system is already starting to approach. Then once it makes landfall, Monday is when we really start to see that chance of rain. So if you're planning on doing tuxes and tails Sunday night, doesn't look too bad. Could get a little breezy, maybe some sprinkles during the evening hours, and those showers hold off until the beginning of next week. Then it just gets wetter, cooler, and gusty, and that continues to Tuesday. Watch Tuesday, though, because a little bit of a change-up is expected. And to see that, we really have to get to the long-range forecast model, because the other ones are more high-resolution models, but they just don't go as far out into the future. And this weak system tonight and tomorrow really doesn't impact us much. It's the one that pushes in on Monday. By Tuesday, we do have some in and out clouds. By Wednesday, we catch that clearing. By Thursday, we're sitting under plenty of sunshine, and this is when the next warming trend really takes shape late next week. It's going to set us up for a warmer and gorgeous weekend across the high desert. Now, by Saturday, we still have all that sunshine next Saturday. That's day 8. And our forecast model shows that between now and Monday at 11 p.m., some showers are indeed expected. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to hit pause real quick, and we are going to go ahead and time that out with you. I have a different forecast model. That was a high-resolution one. This one isn't as high-resolution, but it does go out a little bit further. And it shows that through Saturday, the potential for some sprinkles is definitely going to be there. I'm not buying it. I think this forecast model is overdoing it. But then through Monday and Tuesday, we definitely get more rain and even catch that potential for a little bit of light snow shower activity through the Cascades. Wind-wise, right now it's a little gusty. We have gusts between 15 and 25 miles per hour, mostly out of the west and northwest. Actual wind speeds more like 10 to 20 miles per hour, still coming out of the west and northwest, though. And we're in that part of the day where it's just breezy for parts of Central Oregon. Now, tonight, that next front rolls in, so we don't get that gentle breeze that we typically have during the overnight hours, but it is expected to just be a light breeze, and tomorrow it's going to be breezy again. Look at Sunday. Sunday, not much in the way of wind. That truly is going to be the break between systems. So for tonight, expect those temperatures to bottom out in the 30s and 40s. By tomorrow, we're talking 60s and some 50s on the map. Still in and out clouds. And then the break between systems. Then Monday and Tuesday, cooler, wetter, gusty. By Wednesday, still breezy for many of us, but we really catch that clearing. More sunshine, a lighter breeze by Thursday and Friday, and our next warming trend sets up under high pressure. We're back into the 70s, but look at Friday. This time next week, either side of 80 degrees, so almost getting into the 80s. And then as we go into the weekend, a few more changes. But there is that really good chance of rain here through through Monday and Tuesday, and we are still looking at a cooler Saturday and more sunshine and nicer conditions on Sunday, but that stronger system rolls in with the beginning of next week, and that's what kicks our temperatures back below average for this time of the year after Sunday's rebound. So we're below average for Saturday, for Monday and Tuesday, but by Sunday it picks up just a little bit, but not too much. Oop, went backwards on that one. Let's try that again. And our headlines for the next couple of days through this weekend include this weekend pattern split. Cooler and breezy Saturday, sunshine and warming Sunday. As of right now, there's no rain in sight. And we do have some clouds out there, and that's about it. So that is the latest in weather. Join us tonight on Central Oregon Daily News. We'll have the latest headlines and your most reliable forecast. See you then.